Oh, wow. Excuse me, guys. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Surviving, thriving. We love to hear that. Aerosmart. I'm all right. I'm all right. Just staying patient, man. I want to. I hope I don't get ostracized for saying it, but I want to be in a trade. I mean, it's been a while since I've been in a trade, but I'm still just staying patient. Takes a lot to do it, but um, yeah, BTC for me is at a level that I kind of need to hold, in my opinion. Um, if we lose 60.9, it's gonna be weird. Forgot Powell speaks today. Yeah, yeah. I um I don't know the basis on which he's speaking, but I don't know the basis on which he's speaking, but what's the date today? Yeah, patience is the move for sure right now. I'm waiting on a few triggers in order to position long and short. If we start accepting below 60.9 on BTC, um, you can see like we tapped into this imbalance in this breaker, and rather than like this is a textbook short setup. This is a unicorn setup. The strategy that I trade, that's what it's called a unicorn setup. It's a it's an imbalance inside of a breaker, and that's exactly what we had. And we tapped the breaker perfectly and dumped. But a lot of people talk about bear market PTSD, where they're trying to short every move up. The past few days, I've had a little bit of this bull market PTSD, where rather than shorting and ignoring my own strategy for shorts, I hadn't taken them just because. The sentiment lately has been towards the upside, so there hasn't been any reason. Bros, Capo just tweeted 60K sweep and bottom. We either pump from here or blow through that level. I don't make the rules. Well, of course. We're either going to go up or down. That's for sure. That's one thing that is certain in this game. We're either going up or down. Um, no, but I mean a 60K sweep would make we already got it, right? Like I drew this when would this have been? I drew this prior to the beginning of the month. This sweep was nice. This deviation was nice, but the fact that we're filling it right now is very weird to me. I would have liked something like this. Sorry, I know this chart's messy, but like I said, this is my pure and raw BTC chart. Like this is what I'm looking at. Um, but right, we had this deviation, this sweep. I wanted the structure to be something like that, not right. The fact that we're full covering this sweep is weird, but if Capo thinks we bottom, that means we start the bear market from here. For me, do this, do this. Yes, that's a lot of nonsense. We'll go to a different chart. Uh, uh, uh. The question is, are we prepared if this happens? That I don't know. That I don't know. I'm not bear posting. I'm just, you know, are we prepared if this happens? That scenario is impossible. What makes you say that? I could see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right. But it literally looks like the market is countering his dump idea. We probably blow through the 58.60 and hit the weekly 52 block now if we dump. I like 58. But 52. I'm assuming you're talking about this right here. Right, but sell this sell off as well was post having as well. But how are you positioned yourself at the moment spot wise? I have some spot buys from a hell of a lot lower. Um, so me there's not really much to do. But there are a few coins that I want to get more exposure on, or rather exposure as a whole, not even more exposure, but exposure as a whole. Um, I really like ENA. I really like Avo, and I really like W as well. But for the most part, my core spot bags are from a miles lower. Looking at the weekly though, weekly imbalance here. Um, Should pretty much untapped weekly imbalance here. Mm, Imbalance here. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, like 58K for me. The 58K area, if we lose, wow, that's a whole lot of stuff. If we lose, if we lose 60.9. Yeah, yeah, Sal, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. But question, doesn't TA kind of get put to the side during these market conditions, especially with all the politics in play? Yes, and no. I mean, if we look back on the BTC monthly chart, I wonder if I got to check if Bybit has it based on price history, how far it goes back. Let's use OKX actually. So the bottom on BTC here. I wish I could extend this right. Can you extend this? No, you can't. Bottom 15K bottom here on BTC. Uh, and this is answering your question, Con. Obviously there was stuff going on with FTX, but this bottom here, this was the perfect EQ tap of this monthly imbalance. So as much as sometimes levels can get blown through, based on macro economic and political conditions in the world, uh, there are still levels that buyers are going to be stepping in. There's still levels that need to be filled. There, here, this was just a perfect imbalance fill. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I just urge everybody to be safe right now. Like, so what would the low EQ tap that would be hit at these levels? Let's go back to it. That imbalance fill was minor capitulation. Yeah, 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 yeah. I actually, I'm an early investor in a mining company up here in Ohio, and I remember being at the place around that time, and guy telling me it was bottom, but oh, tired, man, tired. Um, uh, uh, um, Con, give me 1 second. Let me answer your question real quick. Um, in this case, our first bounce area would be this imbalance. I mean, obviously, that's a very, very, very wide range because we're using such a high time frame imbalance. Um, but I would probably play this here and then just cut if we lost the EQ because then we would go down and tap this one. But 59 to, let's just call it 57. 59 to 57. That's why I say 58 because it's the midpoint of those two, but at the same time, like I'm not trying to be a predictive trader by any means. I'm trying to be a reactive trader. This is how I'm trying to phrase it. Yeah, I'm sure this is my philosophy right now. I'm not trying to be predictive. It's just okay. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. Like, let's go back to my other BTC chart. I have so many different BTC charts, but this is the main one that I use. Trying to keep it raw for you guys. Yeah, if we start closing below on like let's say a 4 hour candle on 60.9, then I mean, yeah, 58. 58 is where I'd be looking. We might get a bounce at 59.5, but who knows? Phone calls, more phone calls, more phone calls. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna mute up for a second. I can't imagine it's gonna be that long. Alright, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let's get a little music going, man. Let's get some vibes going. I know the sentiment right now is down. I mean, engagement's down, uh activity's down. Shit. A lot of people's portfolios are probably down, and I don't mean that in a joking manner, like it is, you know. Yeah, it's tough looking at the port. From like a UPNL standpoint or a leverage standpoint. Okay, so BTC is actually holding. This would be mid. There are levels, man. Oh my gosh. So if BTC holds here, then I'd be looking for something like this. Impulse off, retest, start it again. Then we'd probably get this reclaim because this breaker's already been tested. So I mean, as long as we hold here, I'm not too worried about it, to be quite honest. So, you know what? Hold here, reclaim this breaker, probably deviate back below, reclaim, tap this breaker, back above, deviate back below, back above. God, that'd be too perfect. I hold spots, so most of my stuff back and entry below. It's crazy how BTC is still above 60K, yet alts are back to the price when BTC was at 40K a few months ago. Yeah, that is that's a very good point. It's a very good point. Here's why. This retest on BTCD was perfect. So, I'm waiting to see how this 3-day closes, but this is not what we want to be seeing. For those who play my strategy, like this is I always talk about candles. Like this is not how we want this candle to close. We want this candle to close basically the opposite. But this just looks like a great retest on BTC dominance, and probably be targeting. I didn't want to say my BTC dominance targets. What's everybody looking at alt-wise? Like, what are projects that you're looking to accumulate with something that you have conviction in, something that you have belief in? Alts are kind of getting slaughtered right now. They have been getting slaughtered these past few days. That is why, you guys see how much I love trading alts. I love it so much. It's so much fun for me. If done correctly, it can be incredibly lucrative, but like, I have sent out, man, I don't even know how many trades I've sent out this month. Because I know from an alt leverage standpoint, I just don't have much of an edge. Like it's kind of very difficult to have much of an edge. And even with this chop, like from an RR perspective, like the EV just is not there long term. So it's like, for me, why not just wait? It's not just my money on the line, it's other people's money on the line as well. So until I have full conviction in my plays, I will continue to be patient, and I'll try to stay as active as I can and be as helpful as I can. But, for me, it's not the time for me. It's not the time for me. Good, BBQ. How you doing, brother? The risk reward ain't there yet. I agree. From a spot perspective, from a spot perspective, the case can be made that it is, but I think a lot of people get too caught up on just being in leverage positions. I think a lot of people are for lack of a better term, addicted to leverage trading, and they don't even know it, right? Like, a lot of people talk about being on like low leverage and trying to swing on low leverage. It's like, why not just buy spot? The thing is, this is what HBJ was talking about yesterday on stream, is like UIs on futures trading platforms are designed to keep you consistently checking them, and that is how you micromanage plays, and that's how you end up closing something when you shouldn't close it, because you're so focused on intraday percentage gains. So, looking to get into spot Ondo for long term. I'm not built for leverage. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, right? It's difficult. Sorry, I just realized I was on YouTube there for a second. Yeah. I was saying this to, a few guys in here, that it's like, if you can look at the market objectively and not let your emotions get the best of you when trading leverage, you have a lot more of an edge than you realize. From a PvP standpoint, you have a lot more of an edge than 99% of people if you can objectively trade leverage. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. You guys see in my corner, like, I try to be a pretty subjective or objective guy, but like, a leverage play starts going in your favor, of course you're going to get excited. Like we're talking full retraces. This is just 150% pump deleted. This is a crazy one as well. 200% pump deleted. You looking to pick up any spot bags right now? I mean, on a few coins, on a few newer coins, but for the most part, like I'm. Oh my God, all of these. If I inverse every single chart, oh my God, all of them were just perfect supply flips, but short-sided. I mean, this is my setup, guys. Like you see, this is the setup that I play. This flip of supply, but this is an inverted chart, so it's the same thing. Prior deviation, level retested, finally lost level, just full dump. It's damn shame. It's damn shame. With ETH ETF around the corner, I feel like ETH coins might be the move. I mean, I could not tell you. I could not tell you if that's the case. I mean, Arbitrum was back at 85 cents. I was holding ARB from 75 cents, and this was how long ago? See how long ago ARB was at 75 cents. This is where I last got in at ARB. October 23. So how many months ago was that? This is where I bought ARB. Full pump. Deleted. Back to the levels. So it's like, yeah, ultra levels that we have not seen in a while. It's not a bad idea to start scaling in my opinion. I would just go light, and then you can choose to add and start trading some leverage when we have some idea of continuation. And we have some triggers for continuation. I mean, like all of these alts, and if you see all of these alts, like just lost huge levels. Now looking at those charts are so depressing. I mean, it was very harsh. I mean, it was a very harsh sell-off. When to go in with last stables? I can't tell you that question. I really can't. I can't give you an answer on that. Not only would A, that kind of constitute for financial advice, but B, like that's just something that nobody can predict and tell you, you know. I'm not a guy who tries to pick tops. I'm not a guy who tries to pick bottoms. And I hope I don't sound like a dick in saying that, but you might have just hopped on, but for me, it's a question of if this then that, right? Like if this happens, then I'll do that. If this happens, then I'll do that. It's not okay. This is where the top's gonna be. This is where the top's gonna be, or this is where the bottom's gonna be, etc., etc. Watch my net worth divide in 30 minutes. Yeah, the UPNL. Watching the UPNL go down is a bit. That stings. That stings. You know, stop losses are what they are, right? You have a stop loss to be hit, right? It stops your losses. It's right there in the name. But the UPNL gets me because it's like, damn, I should have taken a little bit more off. It was in your account, and I was just not. So, I mean, I'm cognizant of that. I know that hurts a lot of people, but. Do you have your strategy documented somewhere? There's a lot of educational content in my corner. Um, it's a lot of continuation. So, like, damn, this is gonna be a hard one to even. This is just a play that we took my challenge. It's I like playing. Okay, so here's how we'll do it. Let's do it quick. We'll do it quick because I don't want to be. If some people know it, then they know it. Some people don't, then they don't. But this is a candle. Okay, so if this is supply, right? So if this is a higher time frame supply or hourly supply, I play hourly and 4 hour supply flips, sometimes 15 minutes if they coincide. But what I look for is an area that supply is something that you can demarcate as, let's just call it resistance. It's a bearish order block. I just call it supply because I know that's going to be a lot easier for people to understand in layman's terms. But it's resistance. It's an area that we expect price to reject from. When we start disrespecting supply and buyers start stepping in and overwhelming sellers at this supply, then I'll look to enter, let's say here, on confirmed closure and confirmed disrespect of supply. And the same goes for a bearish fair value gap. So if you have, a fair value gap on a candle, and we start disrespecting, I'll look to be positioning long. But when I see supply, which is quote unquote resistance, being disrespected, I will look to enter long. I will look to enter long with my stops below that level marked out as supply, and just look to target external liquidity in the form of, equal resting highs or any poor highs that we expect price to be traded through. And then inversely from short-sided, which I completely neglected last week, is if this is demand, right? So demand is something that we expect price to bounce from, like this, right? This is what we expect demand to do. This is what we expect support to do. We expect price to bounce from it. When we start seeing demand get disrespected and price starts closing below demand and sellers are overwhelming buyers, then we look to position short, targeting poor lows, external liquidity in the form of equal lows or whatever else the chart gives. So yeah, that's about as simple as it is. When it comes to marking out supply and demand, it's the last opposing candle prior to a break of structure to the upside or the downside. But I know that's a lot of Greek for a lot of people. But so these are the two setups for me when it comes to continuation. Sorry, that's supposed to say supply. I don't feel like fixing it. So those are the two setups. So you trade only flips and not buy on demand or sell on supply. I will buy on demand if it coincides with something else. I will buy on demand if it coincides with, let's say, OTE, or a higher time frame imbalance, or even a lower time frame imbalance and a higher time frame demand. But for me, in a trending market, this is the setup. This is the setup in a trending market, like without a doubt. This is the setup in a trending market. In, let's say, like December, December time, I was buying a lot of demand in OTE. And my triggers for buying in demand were something like diagonal resistance forming for a trend breakout. So if I saw something like this, like if we had um if we had poor highs left on the table that we were looking to target, that we expected price to be traded through, and price came down to demand and was respecting this trend, and we came down to a higher time frame demand, like here, mm, like this, then I would be looking to buy and anticipate the trend break. That was my setup in December. December for whatever reason was the greatest. December was the greatest month of trading for me in my entire life. I think I'm not even joking when I say I could not have been out traded in December. You'd have to be different to out trade me in December. Um, how do you know if a fair value gap will be hit? Because sometimes there's a lot of fair value gaps close. Um, are you talking about higher time frame or lower time frame? Era Smart, you remember? Yeah. December was insane, bro. December was the craziest thing um ever for me. There was a week where the entire week straight I hit every single top gainer. I would wake up in the morning and be up 40%. If December was good, why did you change? Because the market conditions changed. Was your first month too, right? No, that was January for me in Academy, but even then, January and February in Academy for me were really good. March was all right. March was still really solid. I was just focused on that challenge account a lot. Um, so from a long term like swing standpoint, it wasn't as great. But even then, like the official trades that I sent out in March, there was only one loss out of the official trades, and then the challenge account we ran up 70%. So I can't complain. This month has been slow. This month has been very slow, and I hope you guys can see that like it's not for a lack of me wanting to work. Like I'm a grinder, right? I'll grind for you guys. I'll share my thoughts. I'll help in any way, shape, or form that I can. But like I truly believe right now that my edge is just not there, and that is because of market conditions purely. It's not like I lost my confidence or something. Um, for the way that I've been trading, the edge just isn't there. The edge that I would have had playing was playing these what's the word? I use the term supply flip, but like we'll say like loss of demand on these alts. That was my edge. And I chose to disregard playing it because I was too biased long sided. Can you show us method to determine a valid fair value gap? Well, for me, like specifically when I'm playing supply flips, my bread and butter setup is when we're flipping supply with an impulsive candle, like a single print candle that leaves a fair value gap. So the best possible example, and actually maybe it might not be the best possible example because it's BTC dominance, but I actually don't do a whole lot of charting on BTC dominance. But this is 2 day. This 3 day candle left an imbalance inside of supply. So like this is a beautiful setup, right? We have a impulsive candle that's ripping through supply. You just play the retest of it, which coincides with the retest of the fair value gap, and normally that provides a bounce, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. Some people call that the unicorn setup. Some people call that a few different things. But when you have an imbalance breaking through supply or an imbalance breaking through demand, um, those are normally going to provide either a bounce or a rejection. But even then, like higher time frame imbalances, I really enjoy playing. Like Like 4-hour imbalances on BTC are kind of money. So here, this is the BTC chart. Like once again, coinciding with breaker, 4-hour imbalance here. We came up, we tapped this imbalance EQ pretty much perfectly and then rejected. For me, rather than playing that rejection, which I should have been doing. Once again, like this is where my mistakes come in, and I'm not afraid to admit to admit that I made the mistakes, right? And it's not from a loss standpoint; it's from an opportunity cost standpoint. But my mistakes came in. Hey, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for both this breaker and this imbalance. I'm gonna wait for this breaker and this imbalance to be disrespected, and I'm gonna play it as an inversion fair value gap, an inversion imbalance. When I should have just been actually playing the imbalance. So there's this as well. Conceptually, this is a lot of stuff. I know, but when fair value gaps and imbalances start getting disrespected, you can look to play them in the opposite direction as an inversion imbalance, inversion fair value gap. I don't think Bing has any good examples. Yeah, here's a good example. So you have this bearish for value gap. We start disrespecting it. You play the retest of it in the same way that you would play a retest of demand. Sorry, I know that was a lot, guys, but like I'd rather focus on education right now because look at what the market's doing. I mean, BTC really needs to hold here for me. We love it, man. I hope. I mean, I know. Obviously, it's a bit. Hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, for me, it's like putting my thoughts and my educational content into the simplest and most basic terms that I can are very difficult because as much as I trade like smart money concepts, price action concepts, ICT concepts, like it's a strategy that I've refined on my own. And prior to coming into a role where I'm having people taking my trades, I've never had to explain what I was doing, right? So it was just like, hey, I've seen a setup. I have basically what would I call it? I mean, it's basically pattern recognition. I'm not trading chart patterns, but like, you develop a system, you develop a process that you never have to explicate to anybody, and then it's like, hey, why are you doing this? It's like, huh. Putting it into terms is a bit difficult, but I'll do my best. This should hold. The EQ of this breaker should hold. If it doesn't, then like I said, when would you flip bearish? I'll show you where I'd flip bearish. I'd flip bearish here. I'd flip bearish if we start disrespecting this imbalance and this demand. That's where I'd flip bearish. But even then, this level could provide a bounce. So it's it's gonna take a lot for me to flip bearish. Once again, like not trying to be a predictive trader, trying to be a reactive trader. If this, then that. I mean, I don't know why. I'm just getting these vibes. That's all I gotta say. I'm just getting these vibes.
Oh, here she come. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she come. She's a man eater. Oh, here she comes. Oh, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater. Oh, here she comes. She'll only come out at night. Ooh, here she comes. She's a man eater. The woman is wild. Ooh, watch out, boy. Watch out, boy. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Yeah, the man eater.
This is how you'd play inversion trade that you get, by the way. Um, you play it when we start disrespecting. Play it. You enter long when you start disrespecting. Your invalidation is closing below this. See, we never close below. Finally, start respecting that. Yeah, I don't know why. How was the golf trip? Golf trip was good. Golf trip was good. I played like shit. I got the shit kicked out of me in golf, but no, it was good. It was less of a golf trip. I would call it more of a work trip. Like I just wanted to go down there and meet everybody. Um, yeah, really just wanted to go down there and meet everybody. I mean, you can only get so good of a read on not even so good of a read, but like you can only do so much with somebody's voice. Like I'd like to meet him in person, you know? Oh fuck. No, it was good. Miami's a great time. Had some fantastic food. Um, relaxed a little bit. Everyone play golf. Pocky doesn't. Tariq and Mouse do. Tariq and Mouse are very, very avid and very, very good golfers. Um, I guess that's because there's nothing to do in the UK, so that's probably why. Israel just finished meeting. Time to bid? Question mark. Time to bid? No, no, no. I know War Cabinet, but you got Israel. You got Israel meeting. You got Powell speaking. Oof. I don't know. 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 Anybody else got any other questions? Any other things they want looked at? You know what's up with ZRX? Yeah, ZRX had the wow, this is exactly what I want to be seeing on BTC. It's exactly what I want to be seeing. Depending on this hourly closes, I might actually it might be time for me to bid. I've been patient for freaking long enough, man. Depending on how this hourly closes, we will see. Or should bouncing. This is this is EQ of breaker. Like this is exactly where we want to bounce. Still no close below. Still no body candle closure below EQ and ZRX. Yeah, ZRX had a weird sell off. I remember even prior to other alts selling off, right? Yeah, ZRX was weird. I mean, we're talking 200% just deleted. I would have liked to have seen it hold here, these highs, but just kind of melt through. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with ZRX, to be honest with you. Don't know. Why did you say this is what you want to see on BTC? Is it because it's a key level? Yeah. Hold on, let's go back to it. I gotta keep using my Bybit chart. This is like I have so many charts on BTC. This is like what I use to trade on. This is my trading chart. That's why it's very messy, but this is a huge level here, right? You can see we haven't closed even an hourly below here. We haven't closed a 4 hour below this level. We are at the EQ, we're at the equilibrium of this level, like tapped perfectly. And now we're seeing buyers step in. So for me, like, I want to see a closure above here. We'll probably retest. Reject at this breaker, retest a bit lower. Deviate above breaker, come back a bit lower, deviate above, like something like this. Something like this. I know that's like I mean that's perfect. This is exactly the candle we want to be seeing. We want to see a full body candle closure. So it's like, yeah, I'm probably like if we can close an hourly above here, we'll probably retest this level once more. You can see this level's already been tested twice, right? We'll probably test it once more. Retest a bit lower. I don't know if we'll get this level again. Retest a bit lower. Start accepting above this level. Deviate back below. Reclaim level, retest level, keep upward continuation. Sorry, I know that's a lot. But how we got here, yes, this is a key level and it's the EQ of that level. Hello, how long till that plays out and we hit the highs again? This is how it'll play out. You ready? And this is a joke, by the way, because I'm a reactive trader, not a predictive trader. But for me, I'd like to see this, right? Like I said.
There's pigeons down on Market Square. She's standing in her underwear, looking down from a hotel room. The nightfall will be coming soon. Oh my, oh hell yes. You got to put on that party dress. It was too cold to cry when I woke up alone. I hit my last number, I walked to the road.
That'd be it. That's how I'd look for it.
One more time to kill the pain.
And that would take. What's the date today? Somebody screenshot this so I can freaking when it plays out this way. Next, yeah, well, it is. Yeah, when it plays out like this, just be ready. It is. Yes, I'm squiggling up, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it in a way that would make sense to me. So it's like, yeah, retest the level that we're impulsing out of now. Retest, reclaim this level that's already been tested. Deviate it again. Reclaim, retest, deviate once more. Come up. Tap this level once more, tap this breaker once more, reclaim, probably deviate back below. It'd actually probably be like this. Probably like this if we were going to take out highs. Be like that, actually. Oh, come back. So if I was to, so it would be 64, 62.5, 65, 63.5, 66. Yeah, I don't know. Slow grind up. Yeah. I mean, this is not something that I expect to be dollied. Like if that happens, then I mean, good, but that's not what I'm expecting. If we can close this hourly above this breaker, that's huge. 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 Full bodied candle closure here. What's a good soul TPI jumped in at 131? Why am I so tired? Because I haven't been trading. My brain hasn't been getting just rattled with dopamine. You jumped in at 131. Well, we're at 131 now, yeah? Gonna go get some classwork done, brother. Yeah, you as well, BBQ. How we going, brother? I mean, if you're gonna try to swing soul from these levels, isn't the worst idea. Actually, a really good level for soul here. Really good level for soul here. Wait. Oh shit. I just realized I had Soul up on my other screen. That makes me look like an idiot. So Soul, this is our last predefined range. These were range highs. You can see we started to accept back into range highs and deviated back out of range. Now we're retesting this range high, so I'd like to see it hold here. It's that simple. First TP 142. 142 is probably a good level. Um, yeah, 142 is where I'd be looking to TP my first bit. Because I mean it also depends on your RR as well. Like what's your invalidation here? This is something that everybody needs to, look at when they're entering a trade, right? Like what's your invalidation going to be? Because if your invalidation is below this wick, then okay, it's a 10% stop. Like you shouldn't be looking to take your first TP until at least 10% up, like at minimum. Ugh, why am I tempted to buy Soul Spot now? Kathleen, what'd you do to me? What'd you do to me? What did you do to me? You think about buying Lev X3 instead of Spot. There's no reason to. It'll make you. I mean, you'll micromanage more. There's no reason to. You'll pay more funding fees. Actually, I don't know what funding's like right now, but I mean, in a bull market, funding's always for the most part positive, or at least slightly positive. There's just there's not really a reason to, unless there are specific tax implications from futures versus spot in your state or your country. Um, yeah, how much reason to. But um, I think I'm gonna hop off. What time did I get on here? Got in here at like 12, so that was about an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off. I'll run another stream tonight, guys. So if anything comes up that you want to ask later, just write it down and we'll get into it. Yeah. Already, already. Yeah, yeah. Adonis, Khan, everybody. No, no, no. Don't even have to mention it. Like this is you know, this is what we do. And especially if I haven't been sending out trades, like I feel like I owe you guys the streams, and it's not a chore for me either. I enjoy doing them. So anytime I have time, any free time that I have, I'm given, and anytime there's like an hour or two that I can rip a stream, I'll do so. So we'll just keep it rolling. We'll keep growing a little bit, and yeah, one more, just just pump the market. All right, hold on. What do I want to pump? Not that. That's for sure. Um, That right there is a good looking retest. That is a very good looking retest. Pepe going crazy right now? Let's see. Oh yeah, what the fuck? Don't know why that is. Ah, bull. Yeah, I got you on Doge. I got you on Doge. No problem. Um, Kind of in a no trade zone for me. Um, I'd be looking to buy spot at pretty much 10 cents even. Previous previous highs. And in order for leverage exposure on Doge, I'd be looking for a flip of 18 cents. But it's kind of in, I mean, it's mid-range right now. If this is your predefined range. So there's just not, I mean, this is a weird one. It's not at the worst level, but for me, like I'm not looking for any I'm not looking for any exposure on leverage. So let's see. Elon has been tweeting about it though. That is the one advantage that this coin has. I mean, if you're gonna DCA, it'd be a pretty solid range to pick up spot on. Um, Pretty sizable, not solid, pretty sizable range. I mean, it'd be about 30% range. Um, but yeah, yeah. Hopefully that answered your question. It's hard for me what to say to, like it's hard for me to say what to do on any of these coins because there's not any triggers for me at the moment. Like for me, there's nothing that's telling me to buy yet. I understand we're on support. I understand pullbacks like this happen. Like I'm all for that. I'm no doubt about it. So picking up spot isn't the worst things, but I just don't have a trigger that has indicated anything like a bottom to me yet. So for me, I just wait a little bit longer. That's it. That's all. What the fuck do you work with mostly? What do you mean? Oh, time frame. I thought you said what the fuck do you work with mostly? I'm like, man, I rubbed this guy the wrong way. Um, I work with oh wow, we did get the hourly close. This is good. This is what we want to be seeing on BTC. This is exactly what we want to be seeing. Um, I work for the most part, let's call it 4 and 1 if I had to if I did to market into two of them, but I'll look weekly, I'll look daily, I'll look 15, I'll look 5 sometimes. Never really operate on the 30. Um 12 hour I like a lot as well, but mainly 4 hour and 1 hour. Mainly 4 hour and 1 hour. 12 hour on Tia looks good right now. Yeah, Tia looks good. Tia looks good. Wow, Soul's kind of pumping. Should have longed it. But all right, people, I'm gonna hop off. I gotta get some stuff done. I gotta get some work done, and then I'll come back and we'll stream later tonight. See what we get. Alrighty. Peace out, people. Everybody have a great day. See you guys tonight. Peace. Peace.